That was the Radio City Music Hall Singers with I'll Be Home for Christmas. Speaking of being home, ladies and gentlemen, I've just learned we're going to have a special treat. Compliments of Bob Hope and the USO. We're very pleased to have with us an Air Force pilot from Home for Christmas. We have with us Mr. Lieutenant Colonel Mike Taggett.
Oh.
Welcome, Colonel. Colonel Taggett is a B-17 bomber pilot and squadron leader for the U.S. 8th Army Air Force, just home from flying 25 missions out of Archbury, England. Welcome home. As you know, our broadcast goes out to millions across America, many of whom have loved ones overseas this Christmas. Can you share with us, Colonel, what it's like to be home?
It's wonderful. So very good to be back here in the States. But I gotta tell you, I am so proud of our soldiers. Many of you probably don't understand or realize that our sons have been sent to war with absolute minimum training. Some of our fighter pilots entered combat in 1942 with less than 1 hour in their assigned aircraft. Because there was insufficient time to train our boys, the command generals had set 25 missions as incentive for the air crews to be able to return home. Very few made it. Therefore, morale was extremely low because 80% of the bombers were shot down during the first 3 months of combat flights over Europe. The first crew to actually fly 25 missions completed 5 of those missions in 10 days during the March Blitz. So our audience can get a better perspective of what this is like. Here's an example. Flying 25 missions at 3,000 miles per mission is the equivalent of circling the globe 3 times while being shot at. My crew and I are hoping to take everything we've learned in combat and applying it to training. Oh yes, it's great to be home, but we still wish we could be there to help relieve Bastogne.
For those of you who haven't heard the news of the last 3 or 4 days, you may not know that our 101st Airborne Division has been completely surrounded by German troops in Bastogne. It's a town in Belgium where 7 roads converge. Orders are to hold this town at all costs. Reports are that many of our U.S. troops have been killed or wounded, and they have no cold weather provisions, ammunition, food, or medical supplies. There are times when the temperature dips to 50 below zero. We need to pray that the weather will change so that we can go in there and relieve our troops. I understand that the German commander has asked the U.S. and its allies to surrender?
Oh, it looks that way.
Well, we all know that loose lips sink ships, Colonel. But can you share with us what it's like for our boys flying missions out of Archbury?
Archbury, that's where Danny is.
Well, initially, we had shortages of equipment. It was bad. But we came through it and we took it to them. All through the summer, all through the fall, through Normandy and the beach landings in Holland. We also never stopped losing people. I lost several men out of my original crew. Then I kept losing boys. They were just boys. God forgive me. I put them there.
But Colonel, you're home for Christmas. That's what really counts. It's not easy for any of our troops, and we need to remember that as they come home. Let's give the Colonel a hand.
Henry,